everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Diverse Stories podcast uh, with host Miranda Orth, Elliot Headley.
Yeah, that's me.
That's right. We're going to be talking with our guest today, who we know from the past
Yeah,
regarding our episode called The Stage and Our Characters.
yeah. So basically, we're talking about our personas we put on stage.
That's right. Other like your Mice and Men, right? And the previous ones that we've done at Stage Door before the last one of the pandemic happening.
Yes.
That
So,
went south, not west.
so our guest today is Isaac Lee, who's a professional Shakespearean actor.
That's right. So let's welcome him to the show.
Yeah, and here's Isaac Lee. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself, Isaac?
Sure. I am born and raised in Burnaby or Vancouver. Burnaby and Vancouver. I studied theater at Studio 58 in Langara College, as well as classical studies in liberal arts at Augustine College in Ottawa. I have a pet mouse named Juniper and a ball python named Snug and a boa constrictor named Thump.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are very interesting names.
Yeah, I like those names because of all the negative stigma and just fear around snakes. I think that it's helpful to have harmless sounding names because they're harmless snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something that represents what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And Snug is mechanical from Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah.
So
and Thump is another name from Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's interesting. So when this pandemic thing would typically not be happening, you would be typically going on trips and for your work and stuff like that.
No, I just like to go on bike tripping and backpacking on my own, simply for the sake of it. Be working in theater more or at all.
Yeah.
Pandemic weren't happening. Yeah.
Is there a question for you?
Yeah.
What has been challenging for you during COVID times?
I think some challenges have been not being able to see people. I'm very interpersonal and relational, and not being able to see my close friends like Elliot and family as well. I think that's hard. Also, just the loss of what could have been a bit of a startup of my career. The pandemic, the lockdown in BC happened basically a few months after I graduated. So what usually could have been a time where I could have been working and auditioning and writing and stuff for theater.
Wow, so a lot of your career stuff kind of stopped once the pandemic hit, hey? That
Exactly.
sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. That doesn't sound like much fun on your end there.
Not much fun, but learning about myself as I go through these challenges.
Yeah. Huh.
How have you been spending your time?
I've been reading a lot, writing a bit. That's about it. Yeah.
What are your hopes and dreams for the future?
I think I don't know anymore. I think I'd like to be able to work in theater. again. A greater surety of self. I think I've lost a lot of surety of myself and self-esteem and self-worth over the pandemic, just because the realization that I hold my identity very closely to around my art and
Mm.
other things and my work,
Mhm.
and losing those things, having to navigate that and basically just figure out ways to hold my identity in those things less loosely.
So yeah, it's interesting to me that you and Elliot have from what Elliot tells me, you guys have been friends for years before I even helped Elliot out by being the usher of Mice and Men, hey?
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
You guys were friends for years, like since school years or something?
since like middle school, I would say.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's
Were
great.
you guys close in grades or not?
We're in the same grade.
Oh, huh.
The fu-
Interesting.
like his mom May tell the story to both of us. We don't even remember the story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, he used to bully me in middle school, but I don't remember it.
That's probably good because it sounds like it would be a terrible experience if you tried to remember it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because bullying does sound terrible to some degree.
Yeah. What's your most memorable characters you played, Isaac?
um uh Playing George in A Mice and Men for sure.
Hmm.
Uh Another memorable experience is probably playing Senor Lopez, playing a Mexican guy, even though I'm not Mexican, in Peter's Cinderella Panto. That was memorable. Um, yeah.
How about you, Miranda? Do you have any cool?
Well, I uh one of my fun earliest plays from elementary school years when I was about like in grade 7 was a play called The Incredible Vanishing.
Hmm.
And my dad has a video on it on VHS, which I think he'll try to do as digital, although I don't know what he'll do with those VHS things because they're big tapes, right? So it would be hard. We don't know what we'd do with it in terms of watching on TV. But anyway, I was in two characters. One is the shopping girl, and the other one was a drain girl with my elementary school classmates. So that was fun, and my acting was pretty good. So then that's how my dad kind of thought that, oh, she would be good in acting later on in life or something like that. So then, so then later on with the, what was it? I think with the help of my Vancouver CLVC facilitator, I think it was. That's right. I was introduced to how Elliot and I met, which was a stage door. So, and I did my acting plays there, and it was really fun. And yeah, but unfortunately, I had to move, so I can. But I'm gonna try pursuing a bit more like uh acting stuff that I like in the after once this thing kind of dies down and stuff like that.
Yeah, you should.
Because I did email a theater company, and they said that they're welcome to have people like me there, just anyone new there, to try out and see what they think of it when this pandemic stuff isn't happening,
Mhm.
and what they
Like
typically would do, be hands on with people and stuff.
our first production together wasn't Mice and Men. It was this musical we did years ago,
Oh, yeah. I think
and
Isaac was briefly mentioning about that
yeah,
musical thing. Yeah, not
yeah,
much, but anyway.
that's our first thing we'd ever done,
Huh.
and like we always try to help each other in our projects.
Yeah, that's true. We've been collaborators for a hot minute, for a long time.
Yeah.
Ah,
Um, what do you, Isaac? What do you think of this podcast we're making?
I think it's great. I really enjoyed the first episode, and yeah, I'm excited and really honored to be a part of this one.
well, that's really good. Yeah. Well, I came up with a list of some plays that Elliot has been telling me about that he and a few of the other cast members did previous to when I was there and when I was at Stage Door and during the time I was there. And one of them he told me about was a play called Where's Frank?
That's my first ever one I ever done.
And you said, what was it you did, Elliot? A monologue talking?
A lot of it's a giant monologue I had to do.
Yeah, but it is considered a monologue,
Yeah.
though. Yeah. And then when we got together, got to know each other as friends, the first one we did together, Ellie and I did together, was The Fourth Element.
Okay.
And I had about 3 characters to play.
Yeah.
It was big, yeah. Elliot knows this pretty well.
Yeah.
I did. We weren't supposed to know one of them. People weren't supposed to till the last minute know about one of them. But I was considered Earth, which is wearing a green wig, because we didn't want people to know I was Water, because I also played that role in a way. When a participant wasn't able to make it, so I had to fill in for someone. So and then I had this invisible role of playing old mage without glasses on, like this, and staring for 20 seconds straight with no glasses. And we only did one take of it, apparently. The producer person, staff, Elliot, that we know of, Don House, he did one take of it, and that was it. Yeah.
Like for me, I was the minor in Fourth Element, and I was drinking so much water on stage.
Ah, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, I even choked on stage one time.
Oh no. Terrible. Ah,
I was like drinking a ton of water.
yeah.
So, Isaac,
Yeah,
have you wanted to make more plays after this whole pandemic is gone?
definitely.
Last time we actually talked, you were making a play, King Lear, right?
Yeah, not making it, but essentially preparing to direct it. Right now, the hope is with my theater company, Promethean Theater. Our hope is to produce it this winter in December. It was really going to be last year, but
Got pushed.
obviously. So the thing is, though, if the pandemic is still around, we'll probably not be able to do it, which is likely the case. But in the meantime, I think I'm preparing to do it as if it is going to happen in December. I don't think that's unwise. And if things get postponed again, then I'll just have more work done.
What made you want to be a Shakespearean actor in the first place?
Oh, I love Shakespeare. I love words. I love speaking words, and I think there's something about Shakespeare's writing that is just a lot of fun to say, quite simply.
Well, you
yeah.
have someone who loves words right here, Miranda. She loves words.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Words and seeing things visual. Otherwise, I can't understand things. Depending on what I'm talking about with who it is, with whoever it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those visual learner type of people. Like I can't just hear people talking. I have to actually, person politely talking. I have to actually see something
Yeah.
visual. Otherwise, I just don't get it.
You like a good PowerPoint.
Yeah, bullet points type of thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like especially when I'm trying to construct an email that looks business-like or something.
Yeah,
I want it to look good and not unprofessional and messy.
yeah, that's good.
Last time we saw each other, you told me you were scheduled scheduled to get the vaccine.
Yeah, that's right. My vaccine appointment is tomorrow at 2:10. I think it is. It's at 2:10
Mm.
tomorrow.
Okay, so you're
What?
getting yours because of what? Because Elliot and I and the other general public haven't got ours yet. So I'm just wondering what makes
So I volunteer.
yours separate apart.
Yeah, I used to work with the Society to End Homelessness in Burnaby
Okay.
last summer,
Hmm.
and I continued to volunteer, and I still go on and off, and basically because they're considered um healthcare workers.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, okay. You're in kind of the care worker type of person, doing that related work anyway.
exactly,
To
yeah,
some volunteer on occasions type of thing. So it's still
exactly,
considered health workers area. Okay.
precisely.
I didn't know about that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, and also like Isaac is really good when he puts a project and a team together.
Well, that's good.
Like his first ever solo project was Saint Joan, and that was 3 hours long.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's true. I do really like to. I love team building. I like making teams,
Hmm.
putting
Like
people.
in Elliot's soccer being soccer captain for his team, right? Kind of like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kind of
yeah,
making a
exactly.
team like that where where Elliot there is the captain and he's helping his players, coaching his players.
Yeah. I think leadership is pretty fun too, but I think I really enjoy seeing how people work and then
And
putting them together and according to people's different skills and
yeah, and he's also an athlete with another team as well. So it's not like he has only one role to do. No.
exactly. Yeah, there's always more in play.
Yeah.
At play, you get it?
Yeah. How you describe your theater company, Isaac?
Uh, we're like the Sinister Six. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. I call it my garage band, my theater, my high school band, except we make theater, not music. Um, yeah, we like to put on whatever we want, and we like to give opportunities to people who wouldn't normally get to be able to do things. Um, we're a group of like theater artists and theater lovers, and I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Promethean Theater Company.
When Gary came to you the first time
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Let's do Mice and Men,"
Mm-hmm.
what do you think of that?
I thought that was pretty wicked. I was all over it. Yeah, I remember the first. I still remember the first time he called me. Um, I was at, I was in the family dinner, and I got a phone call, and I decided to step away from the dinner table to answer.
To be polite, it's only polite.
Yeah. And it was Gary, and yeah, and he just told me about this idea where he talked about how he'd been watching me and Elliot interact and just thought that's exactly like George and Lenny from Of Mice and Men. And then he figured, what if we put that on stage, put that relationship that's already there? And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, let's do it. I had zero qualms. I was all for it. Ready
So,
for a 5-year reunion in 3 years.
Wow. And then you guys were I think what day was this, Elliot? Was this on the last day of the of Mice and Men where you guys shortly after were on the CBC new early morning news thing?
this was
Remember the CBC thing, Elliot, you told me about?
this was like a week before the last two shows were airing.
Oh, okay.
Like, no, this was in August of 2019.
Yeah, this was before the
Yeah.
CBC interview we had was before the show had opened.
Yeah.
Before open? That's weird. Okay. I thought it would be a bit more like in sequence, like almost after or something like that. Because I know on the last performance at Stage Door, you guys had a Q&A, right? So I would think it would be shortly after that, but I didn't know this whole CBC thing was before that. Wow. That's
I think it was
surprising.
before. You know, I might be wrong. I don't have I don't have the greatest memory when it comes to timelines of things.
This was like 2019 mid-August, I remember. And
Okay.
with Gary's connections, we were on the early show edition.
Yeah, we had to get up real early for this.
Oh man. Were
Yeah.
you guys were you at least feeling tired about it, Elliot? Like kind of feeling, oh, I'm so exhausted. I have to go to bed early the previous night.
Little bit, but I was fine.
That's good.
Yeah, he asked us tons of questions, and we bought our scripts, so we did some dialogue there.
Mm.
I really enjoyed it.
Mhm. I was wearing a plaid shirt, I remember, and I put some gel in my hair, and you were like a casual shirt, I remember.
I have no idea what I was wearing.
Yeah, we have fun experiences.
Yeah, that sounds about right with you guys, even though I'd known both of you together short period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Only from that Mice and Men stuff play.
But
Yeah.
you've known Elliot for a while, eh?
I know, but both of you together is what I'm talking about.
True.
and plus we have two different types of personalities too.
Yeah.
True.
Do you have any questions for us, Isaac, though?
I don't know. I came I didn't come with any questions prepared. I just came to prepare to answer the questions and just to have a good time and talk.
No. Well, part of this is sort of like so viewers like you, Isaac, or whoever being interviewed can also ask us questions about what people like you would think of our podcast, and just trying to have people see more of people like myself and Elliot, intellectually challenged type of people, know that like us people can actually do such a thing as pull off a podcast, even
Yeah.
though it's not our intellectual challenges are kind of like shied away a lot of the time, as I say.
Yeah.
So like we're just trying to broaden the horizon on that and know that like this isn't a judgment type of show. Anyone can watch it or something, or anyone can do whatever podcast. Like for example, our previous guest that we just had the other day, she's doing her own sister podcast, which she's still working on. Yeah, so she got the inspiration from Elliot and myself.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're trying
Wow.
to just make sure that like people like in her shoes or whoever can have opportunities, because there's a lack of that for people like myself and Elliot.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
like with the play you guys were doing of Mice and Men, that's an example of inclusion between people who are not intellectually challenged and people that are challenged
Right.
and can work in different ways together and not just be solely working with not intellectually challenged people or working with intellectually challenged people in a group
I think
separately,
that's such a
segregated,
beautiful thing about Of Mice and Men, that it was just
integrated.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And like,
Yeah, I didn't, and as I said to previous guests, I actually didn't have the best experience in high school, no, because I was segregated a lot.
Hmm.
I was in a very strange class called this strategies class, and I was actually going to be wanting to do an athlete club, and then my teacher was telling me no because she thought I wasn't athletic enough. Whenever I tell Elliot this, he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's strange because I am athletic enough. I do look fit and athletic enough, and they thought otherwise. So foolish of them."
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I mean,
When
my brother's an athlete, for example.
mhm.
So why can't I, right? So
Yeah,
that's an
that's true.
example of how stupid a setup at a school is for like my dad, meaning for people like myself. Like for example, my dad went to interviews with different school, Vancouver School Board, different interviews at schools like Lord Bank to see if there was a program that would fit for me.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, at this one high school, I went, but he wasn't particularly pleased with the program type of thing
Hmm.
because we
uh,
wanted it to be about integration, not segregation.
Exactly. Do you
And
think?
that's what my advocating is solely, mostly about.
Yeah.
you can go, Isaac.
Um. Do you think that nowadays school systems have gotten better at integration?
Well,
I have no idea at all.
Hmm.
when
I don't know.
when I was in university, this one guy I used to hang with,
Yeah.
I was a part of project, right?
Okay.
And I was the editor, and I edited the thing, and um, I was tired. I give the whole project to the guy. I said, "Can you take care of this?" And the next few days, he edited it, and when I saw it, guess what?
Yeah.
My name wasn't on the credits.
This person did everything right except include your name, Elliot.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's hard.
What the F
Sucks to
is
be
that? What
independent.
is that? That's crazy.
yeah.
That's exclusion right there, Elliot. Why would you want to be not include? Why would your name not be included? What were they thinking?
They think, well, this person was like from a rich family, and he's thinking like highly of himself. So
Sure they were trying to keep busy with their job, but still, that doesn't make sense to me. That's very weird.
well, what do you think about today's society, Isaac?
That's a huge question. In what department? Like in what?
Like for acting wise, for you?
Mhm. I think that a lot of things are changing. I think that theater companies are finally starting to go into a shift where there was a few years ago there was the not in our space movement, which was basically a Canadian theater. I think it's Canadian theater movement. I'll have to
Hmm.
don't reference me on that, but basically a
Oh,
movement
okay.
creating um safe spaces in theater, in rehearsal
Mhm.
and on stage, where basically um intimacy coaching was just as important as fight direction.
Hmm.
So for example, scenes where actors kiss, or sex scenes, or
Oh.
an actor is naked, scenes that are like that tend to be like more vulnerable in that way,
Hmm.
are just as are taken just as much care and delicacy as a fight scene, because yeah, I think there's a sense of treasuring and showing honor to actors and their bodies and their relationships with their bodies. And I do think it's less, the attitude towards actors in theater, I think, is slowly becoming less the actor laborer and more the actor the artist, and I think that's great too.
Mhm.
And there's also more eyes opening towards POCs and LGBTQ actors.
Mhm.
And also chances for like Elliot and myself, for example, that type of group,
Yeah.
right?
A bit differently skilled, yeah.
Yeah.
Differently skilled.
We
Absolutely.
we run this theater called New Will Theater. They pair you with people with disabilities and people without disabilities. Type
Yeah.
scenario.
With Marcus Youssef, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. I think there's a lot of great stuff going around. I think Vancouver's a very progressive city when it comes to the art that is made compared to a lot of other cities. Though I do think that we are still guilty of a lot of other systemic issues, but that's a global thing.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to get too into that because a lot of people are more focused on trying to get settled back to the new normal after this pandemic,
Yeah.
right? So, and we don't know what that new normal is anymore.
Yeah.
Yet, anyway,
Yeah.
because people right now are still trying to work on the vaccine stuff. And right now they're only working on the seniors. And you guys, Isaac, people like you and seniors like my dad.
Which is, I think, is also silly, because I think that people who are like frontline workers are becoming more like people who are in their 20s and 30s who are working in grocery stores, in retail, in restaurants, and who are coming into more into contact with people. So I think the idea that's starting to buzz around right now is, why is it that someone who is 55 years old or older, who works from home, because that's what because they work in an office job or they work as a doctor, and they're able to see clients from home on Zoom, as opposed to someone who's 20 or 30, who takes transit and sees and comes into close contact on transit with dozens of people every day, and also works in the front lines in grocery stores and restaurants and retail, and comes into contact with so many people.
That is a little bit strange.
Why is
Elliot,
it?
we're almost out.
Why is it? Yeah. Why is it that older people? Why is it that that group is not being prioritized when it comes to being vaccinated?
I have no idea. I have no idea at all.
Yeah.
But I gotta say,
Yeah.
Isaac, it's good to have you here, and I
Yeah.
hope you spend a good day with your sister and your
Thanks.
family.
Hopefully
Thank
you can watch the episodes that we already have on air and
Excited.
look forward to your comment, and you can like or subscribe if you want,
I will.
like all other viewers at home who are watching this.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Miranda. Thanks, Elliot.
Welcome. Yep. Welcome, Isaac.
Please let your friends know too.
I will. Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Bye.
Bye, Isaac.
Bye.